Hey YouTube man, it's your boy Tay. Jeez, and we back here on another freaking video, man. Hey man, hope y'all doing good, cause I'm doing fine. Hope y'all doing excellent. Hope y'all days are great. One of my mates to our house, and they're like, "Oh, you want a cup? You want a cup of milk?" I was like, "Wow, yeah, sweet." They cracked the thing open. It was a brand new bottle. I was like, "Oh, I don't even drink milk. I don't drink milk. I don't drink. I just drink some water, or I just drink water. I don't drink anything else. But I just drink water. Niggas, you want a couple? You want a glass?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking no. You know why not? Like, why not?" Gets it, pulls me up. I drink it, and it's spoiled. I didn't like. I was like, I don't know, taste no sugar. Like, it doesn't taste sweet. It should be sweet right now. Like, you know what I mean? I'm waiting for that sweetness to hit. I taste like off now. Like, oh yeah, this can't be real. Take another sip because I'm too stupid. Actually, I'm not stupid. That's one thing you need to do. You can't tell yourself, you can't say something about yourself and allow yourself to just keep moving on like you didn't just say that. I'm not stupid. I'm actually smart. I'm intelligent. I have bright ideas and I solve problems. And that's a fact. That's a fact. But I took another sip of the spoiled milk and then I clocked. I was like, yeah, this is bad. And I look up in shock. And the person who gave me the milk just spits it out. I was like, yeah, it's got set up, bro. Got set up, mom. I was like, bro, so disappointed. I was like, I don't even drink milk. Like, I don't drink milk, but this guy doesn't really know me like that. And he just offered to me. So I was like, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'll take some milk. Because the guy doesn't look like he drinks milk himself. I don't know why we were drinking milk. Like, we're too grown to be drinking milk. The nigga was like at least 40, but whatever. But that's how it be, bro. When you're with people, start getting ideas, it's positive and there's negatives. But when you're with people, you start getting ideas. Start getting ideas to do shit that you never do when you're alone. That's why being alone is the best. Cause you know what it is that you like. You don't do anything that's out of your comfort, like out of your criteria, out of your set rules that you have for yourself. You don't do anything that's like, nah, that's not Tay G's. Tay G's doesn't do that. You know what I mean? You're just like, all right, this would Tay G's do this? Oh yep, Tay G's will do this. Okay, let's do it. Like when you're by yourself. But when you're with people, shit just gets thrown out. Fuck that rule, fuck that rule, fuck that rule, fuck that rule. You know what I mean? But when you're by yourself, you know exactly what it is you need to do. You know what it is, what you want. But when you're with people, you know, it's bad. That's why I say being alone is the best for me, bro. There was a point where I hated being alone. Like, I hated it. Like, there was no noise. There was no, like, you couldn't tell your thoughts. You couldn't tell your thoughts to nobody. You couldn't tell somebody what you wanted to do. There was no distractions. You know what I mean? It was just me, my thoughts, and my regrets. Like, what I didn't realize back then was like being alone actually saved me. You know what I mean? For the most of it, like people run away from being alone because when everything goes quiet, that's when the real shit like comes out. The insecurity, the fear, the shame, like all the stuff like we bury under distractions. Like people act like things are alright, but it's not really alright. You know what I mean? You're just so distracted. You're just so distracted. You're not thinking about what's wrong. But you can't heal when you're constantly avoiding. You know what I mean? You can't heal when you're constantly drinking or drowning your sorrows in alcohol, or you're constantly facing drugs to feel better. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't heal. You can't heal when you're constantly avoiding that. And I can't lie, I was avoiding myself. I was avoiding being alone. Like that was the main thing I was avoiding. But when I finally sat with myself, like really sat with myself, like I realized how much I was depending on other people. Like just to feel worthy, like what I mean, just to feel worthy, bro. Friends, validation, attention, even just scrolling all day, it kept me from facing how lost I actually felt, like But in silence, I started hearing my own voice again. In silence, because you need that silence to actually focus and count, like what I mean. I started journaling, I started planning, I started remembering who I was before life, actually came with upcut bang, like what I mean. Like I learned how to love myself. Being alone just taught me to be self-aware, like how to move without asking for permission. Cause I don't need no one's validation. I just don't. Like I never needed it. You know what I mean? Like even if like say I'm with a girl or I want a girl, like I don't need your loyalty, but I want it. You know what I mean? Or like say I'm with a group of Donnies, I don't need your loyalty, but I want it. You know what I mean? But I want it. But it's alright. I don't need it. I never needed it. I don't need no one's validation. That shift didn't make it didn't make life the shift didn't make life easier, but it made me stronger. Because once you know how to be alone, Nobody can take your peace from you, moms. I stopped chasing people. I stopped over explaining myself. Started building, in silence. Making YouTube videos, without asking for feedback, and just letting people give the feedback themselves. You know what I mean? That shit actually made me feel good. Like I didn't have to ask for someone to tell me, X, Y, Z. And that's like the main thing. It's crazy because when you're with a bunch of people, which are with friends or family, whatever, and you ask for this and ask for help or ask for insight or thoughts on something you're doing, you always have to ask for it. But when you stop asking, they peep it and they start asking you. They start asking you about what you got going on, and then that's when you know how to, because you learn yourself better. You know what I mean? You understand yourself better. And it just gives you more vision. Like you don't always want to be walking with a crowd. I'd rather be my own. The right path than be in a crowd of losses. You know what I mean? Let it sink in, man. You're in the lonely season right now. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Use it. This might be the best part of your story, where everything finally clicks. Because of my mama, for my brother, solitude, it isn't a punishment. You know what I mean? It isn't a punishment. It's actually just preparation. Like it's getting you, really ready for like what it is that that's actually for you. Like what is actually like you need to knuckle down and actually get done. You know what I mean? So solitude isn't a punishment. It's actually preparation. Real shit. If you're in that phase right now, I want to know. Like, let me know what's going on. What has being alone taught you? What like you've been in your own route, your own path. What has that taught you? Drop it in the comments, man. And if you felt this video, hit a like, subscribe, and don't forget to share it with someone who needs to hear something like this. On God, people out there who similar to me, and even probably similar to you. You know what I mean? People got friends out there, sisters, brothers, going through something, but you guys haven't spoke about it, or they don't know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? They're always with people, but they don't know how to deal with it. Once when they're alone, they'll understand it. Man, I'm gonna catch y'all.